Right. So we made a mistake there in that particular question. So let me take that question again. Right. Okay. So the diagram shows how a person works on his computer. Write 2 health related issues that he may face due to the posture. Right. So this is not about how he violates the rules, or how he disobeys such safety things. So this is about issues, right? The issues which he faces. But we all took this question as different one, as in a different meaning, but try to correct that. So here, so you have to spot the issues, right? So here, so we discussed about his the distance, right? The distance, it's too closer. So we suggested that the distance between the eye and the monitor is very short, but here the question is issue. So you know that is related to CVS. So write it as CVS, computer vision syndrome. Have you understood? Here we have been asked to write the issues, not the things which he doesn't obey, right? So then look here, what else? Look at the legs, right? So legs are not vertical, right? Legs are not perpendicular to the floor. So there may be some RSI problems, right? Even musculoskeletal, mainly RSI related to your from shoulder to finger, but it is possible, right? RSI can be. So even musculoskeletal problem, because it is about muscles and bones, right? So musculoskeletal, and even look at his shoulders. Shoulders are he's not leaning on, right? So there may be shoulder pain, right? So that may be again musculoskeletal. So since shoulder is bent, you know, this area can be affected, right? Maybe shoulder backside is bent, right? So there may be some problems here. So even RSI also there, right? So CVS, RSI, we are not sure about CTS, carpal tunnel syndrome, but since it's a picture, we are unable to identify that. Sometimes that is also possible. Okay, so try correcting this question. This is about the issues which he faces, health issues, right? Okay, so correct the question. So straight away we can move to the today's part. So we discussed this one at last. So let's move to the next one. Look, if I made any mistakes in one question or in any question, you have the freedom to correct that, right? If you feel that something goes wrong, stop me and correct that, or stop me and ask that doubt, right? So then only I can clarify everything. Even sometimes without knowing, I may make mistakes, right? So try focusing on questions. Look. So now we are in 2016 second question, right? So there is a complete question in 2016. So let's take the second one. Write 2 methods for the proper disposal of electronic waste, right? Proper dispose. So you know we have 3 methods. It's too easy. Reduce, reuse, recycle, right? You have been asked to write 2. Even you can write 3, right? There is no need for description because you have been asked to write the methods, suggested 2 methods. So reduce, reuse, recycle. Okay. Second, write down any 3 recommended correct postures a user should adopt in order to minimize the adverse effects such as computer vision syndrome, carpal tunnel syndrome, and repetitive stress injury related to ICT. Have you understood the question? So you have been asked to suggest 3 good things, 3 good postures, not only for one thing, for 3, right? Computer vision syndrome, carpal tunnel syndrome, and also RSI. So you have been asked to write 3, not for 3 each. See, in no place they ask 3 recommendation each for these 3 things, right? So better write 1 recommendation for each category. For CVS, write 1 recommendation. For carpal tunnel syndrome, another, then another one, because the question is not clear, but since it is 3, write 1 each. Okay, right. So you know, it's you have to recommend good things, right? Correct postures. So CVS, especially for CVS, we have 2 recommendations. Hope you remember the distance, right? But you have to mention the measurement also, right? So the distance between eyes and the monitor is about 45 centimeter to 70. That is 1 recommendation, right? That is enough, but I tell you one more. The monitor should be little below to eye level, right? So these are the 2 important recommendations related to CVS. Carpal tunnel syndrome, you know, it's about wrist, right? Bending wrist. So you must say that wrist cannot be bent when typing. In other words, wrist should be straight. That is 1. Even you can say that wrist cannot be pressed on the table or something, right? Even you can say wrist cannot be bent when handling mouse. Anything is okay. That is about CTS, carpal tunnel syndrome. Try and note these things, right? Then only you can learn. Then RSI. So RSI is about here, right, from shoulders to fingers. So you can say that shoulder must be relaxed. You have to maintain your shoulder as relaxed shoulder. That is important. And also you may say that this one, right, that elbow should be straight, or sorry, should be parallel to the keyboard. That is of course related to RSI, right? So even soft typing, right, you cannot hit the keys hard, so everything is possible, right? So you know, these are the application questions. Try improving such skills, right? Okay, so this is B. Now let's take the C. Consider the following scenario. An information technology manager of a company is also an active member of a voluntary organization which supports families of low income for education, healthcare, etc. Without the knowledge of the authorities of the company, he provides a list of email addresses of leading businessmen who are customers of his company to the voluntary organization in order to contact them for fundraising. Briefly explain why the act of the IT manager is unethical. Have you understood? First of all, understand the scenario, right? So there is an IT manager, he works in a company, he also an active member in a voluntary organization. Now what he did was, he gave some email addresses, right, of his company to some businessmen, because to get some fundraising. He wants some fund for voluntary organization. So he is a manager in a company. So since he is a manager, he has customers. So what he did was, without asking those customers, he gave customers' email addresses to some businessmen who are the customers of the IT company. The question is, briefly explain why the act of this IT manager is unethical. So according to the question, it clearly states that his action is unethical, right? So we have to justify how. So you have to say that without the permission of the customers, right? Without the permission of the customers, this manager cannot give any email addresses or any personal data to the businessmen or to the others. So you must mention one phrase. Remember that phrase. So you have to mention that this can affect the privacy of these customers. We discussed about privacy, right? Privacy is, so I mean, protecting the personal information about individuals. That is privacy. But now the privacy is affected because this manager gave away these email addresses without their consent, without the customer's consent. So it is totally against that etiquette. So he now their personal informations, such as, email address is privacy, right? That email address is given to the others. So they may contact those customers, right? And sometimes they don't want them, right? Customers want others to communicate. So this is the point. So I repeat it again. So since the question states that it is unethical, so you don't need to repeat that. Okay, it is unethical, but you have to justify, or you have to briefly explain. So first of all, you must say that without the customer's permission, right, this manager cannot give any personal information because it affects the privacy of the customers. That's enough. Okay, right. So here for the last question, almost for all the units in ICT, your answer must be spot on. You have to write exact answers for almost all the units, but in particular to the last unit, answers must be spot on, because this is one of the area where students can write many things for questions, because it is related to practical life. So even if you don't know the answer, you can write paragraphs, right? Because this is all about imagination and other things. So this is not, this doesn't work here. So you need to write the exact answer. So here the exact answer must be very small, right? Don't elaborate, don't give paragraphs, right? In 2 lines or 3 lines, that is enough. Okay, right. Let's go to the third one, D part, fourth one. The computer hardware in an office are completely destroyed by a fire, and as a result, some important data in the storage devices have been lost forever. Briefly explain the precautionary steps that could have been taken to avoid this loss of data. Have you understood? So, computer hardware destroyed because of fire. As a result of this, almost all the data have been lost, right? So briefly explain the precautionary steps, right? So what are the precautionary steps? So here, the best one, that may be the only one, taking backups, right? He could have taken backups, regular backups. So if that happened, data will be safe. So, but remember, I already told you during the class, whenever you take backups, make sure the backup must be in multiple places, right? Because sometimes, if you take backup in only one place, sometimes, right, this never happens, maybe very rarely happens. Sometimes even that backup data or backup storage device also sometimes affected. So try taking backups in multiple places. So if you are running a business, right, so you may have branches. So for every day you have data. So try taking the backups in different areas. If you have a branch in Colombo, maybe all the branches data may be taken as backup in Colombo. At the same time, you can take the same backup in Jaffna. So suppose if Colombo office is destroyed, or sometimes the data in Jaffna will be safe. So taking backup in multiple copies is very safe, right? And also take the backup and put it in the clouds. We discussed, right? So, even free clouds are there. We have Google Drive, some of the paid clouds there. So take the backup and put it in the clouds, because if it is in the cloud, data will be forever safe. Okay, so even though it is taking backup in keeping in one place, or taking backup in keeping in cloud, it's backup, right? So answer is backup. You have to mention it, but briefly explain. But not the question, you have to briefly. So try explaining your answer briefly, but not your answer must include that backup idea should be there. After that, right, you may write everything, whatever you want, but keep an eye on the word backup. All right, that's enough. So go to the 2015. If you have doubt, ask me at any time, right? You have the freedom to ask at any point of time, right? But don't send any messages. Try asking, then only I can easily check and clear it. Okay, so let's check the 2015. Assume that your friend says telemedicine is taking medicine from home by contacting a doctor over phone. Explain why your friend's statement is incorrect. Write down an example to illustrate the correct use of telemedicine. Okay, so your friend says that taking medicine from home by contacting a doctor over phone is telemedicine, but this question or this statement clearly tells that it is incorrect, right? So yes, it is incorrect, because if it is telemedicine, you know, in one area the patient must be there. Along with the patient there may be some medical team, maybe a doctor, maybe a nurse, some medical instrument, those must be there. And on the other side, the medical officer, or maybe the doctor, or maybe that surgeon who has to deliver advices should be there. So when this happens, we can say that it is telemedicine. But getting advice over phone from a doctor to a patient can't be. Maybe in the patient end there may be a system, right? There may be doctors to get the patients, I mean, symptoms and other things. Maybe nurses, some medical equipments. Even without medical equipment, you can say that it is telemedicine. But it must be, right? There may be some medical related people there. So best option is that that particular patient should be in the nearest hospital. So if he is in the nearest hospital, then there is a possibility for having doctors and nurses. There may be a medical group. So this medical group gets some, medical history and symptoms from the patient and try to convey them to the doctor who is in the other end. This is how the this is how the telemedicine takes place. But I'm giving you a basic idea for the telemedicine. You know, telemedicine is something which beyonds, regions, right? That is a big thing. But this is a simple telemedicine. Even they can pass the messages through telephone. That's not an issue. But the patient must be along with them, right? So that is how you have to correct that, right? You have to say that in the patient's end, there may be medical staff, maybe doctor, nurses, to get the medical history or the symptoms from this patient, right? That must be the point. And here, see, write down an example. So try correcting that an example. So say you can say that a patient in a hospital with medical staff can give the his medical condition, medical history to the doctors, and the doctors can send them to the doctor over phone for treating or getting some advices. That is one example. Okay, so try correcting. I give a summary, but use appropriate words and modify your answer. Okay, second. Someone says that he installed a virus scanner on his computer, on his home computer 6 months ago, and that he has never had internet access at home. Explain why his computer may not have protection from new virus attacks. Repeat it again. Someone says that he installed a virus scanner, which means antivirus, right? Virus scanner is antivirus software. Virus scanner on his computer 6 months ago, and that he has never had internet access at home. Explain why his computer may not have protection from new virus attack. Okay, so someone has antivirus which was installed 6 months ago, but thereafter it wasn't, he doesn't have internet, which means that antivirus never be updated. So we discussed about this thing earlier. Having antivirus is important. At the same time, that antivirus should be regularly updated. So this antivirus is there in his computer, but not updated because he didn't have internet for 6 months. So then how could it be updated? So it's impossible, right? So you can say that antivirus is not updated. So the virus can come from other possible ways, like using pen drives, CDs. So when virus come, they cannot be detected or they cannot be deleted because antivirus software is not updated. This antivirus software was installed 6 months ago. That antivirus never knows new viruses. You know, there may be new viruses arrive. Yes, that antivirus is watching, but it doesn't have the ability to detect them as viruses. Have you understood? So you give this as summary. So you must mention that antivirus is not updated because internet was absent. So since antivirus is not updated, it cannot identify the new viruses. So computer is not protected. Okay, this is the summary. Next, third one. Try writing the answer as summary, right? Then you can study or you can rewrite them as a complete answer. But I gave spaces, right? Use these spaces. Try writing with pencils, write short summaries, use my phrases, words, and later on you can make that as a proper answer. You can polish that, right? Number 3. Explain one ethical issue related to the use of personal information stored on an information system. Your answer should include one example to illustrate an unethical act related to privacy of information. I repeat it. Explain one ethical issue related to the use of personal information stored on an information system. Many times similar questions asked, right? So one ethical issue related to the use of personal information, right? Give importance to this phrase, personal information stored in information system. So assume a bank has an information system because all the customers' data are saved there. So that is an information system. Their customers' details are there, right? So they are the personal information, right? So you have to write one ethical issue. So you can simply say that the personal information in that particular information system can be given to the others, right? Can be given to the others without their permission, without the customer's permission. So this is unethical. Very simple one. I repeat the question. Try understanding the question first. Explain one ethical issue related to the use of personal information stored on an information system. So you can simply say the data or the personal data in that information system can be given to the others, right? Without the permission. So it affects their privacy. That is simply ethical. At the same time, look here, your answer should include one example to illustrate the unethical act related to privacy. So many times we came across such examples. Even today we got an example, right? So see, a manager of that bank, right, can give his, customers' personal information such as name and email addresses to another insurance company or to another volunteer organization, right, in order to, raising fund or something, right? So that is one example. Have you understood? Try, referring your previous question, you can get the answer. So this is ethical issue, but privacy is important, often asked, right? If you don't have any, if you have any doubt, ask me, right? Sometimes you may have further, demonstration or further explanation. So if you need such thing, ask me. All right, so let's go to the next one, number 4. Your friend says that he does not need to back up his data as he has installed a firewall. Do you agree with him? State reasons for your answer. I repeat it. Your friend says that he does not need to back up his data as he has installed a firewall. Do you agree with him? State reasons for your answer. Do you agree? No, right? We don't agree because firewall never prevents what? Firewall prevents only unauthorized access. Firewall is not related to backup, right? So you have to say that firewall is not related to backup. It never helps for taking backup. Even you can say that firewall only used for preventing unauthorized access. That's enough. You don't need to elaborate about how to take backup. That is not important. If you want, you can write it, but you have to mention why firewall is not suggested, right? That may be important. Or why firewall cannot be used. That is must. But it's up to you to write whether backup is taken by other medium or something, right? That is okay. I repeat it. You must mention that firewall is not related to backup. Firewall never helps in taking backups. So you can say firewall only used for preventing unauthorized access. Okay. Last one. Provide 2 reasons why one should not use pirate software. Pirated, right? Rather, pirated best pirated past participle. Pirated software. Your answer should show issues related to pirated software. I repeat it. Provide 2 reasons why one should not use pirated software. Yes, pirated software cannot be used, right? Yes, we have 2 reasons. I hope I explained both of them. I suggested both of them. One, this is unethical, right? As a student, you should understand that what is pirated software? Copying a licensed software without purchasing, right? Copying or distributing or whatever a licensed software without purchasing, that is piracy. So once a software is copied without purchasing, that means it is pirated software. So if it is pirated software, it is unethical, right? So that is one thing, because the question is the reason, right? Why one should not? Because it is unethical. So you can't do unethical things. So that is one reason. Second one, pirated software may have malwares. We discussed, right? So when we discuss about malwares, we mentioned that we always use, or we must use licensed softwares all the time. We must use the softwares which have been purchased, right? If you use pirated software, that may be the potential places for malwares. Okay, so these are the 2 reasons. It is an unethical act, and also it is the place where malware is hidden, right? So these are the 2 reasons. All right, so let's go to the other one, 2014. First one, a learning management system, LMS, we discussed in grade 10, right? First unit. LMS is an application of ICT in education sector. Write down 2 other other applications of ICT in the education sector. So the education sector has so many applications. Yes, LMS is very important. Even at this particular time, almost all the organizations use LMS, especially high education institutions use LMS as their main weapon, right? So it is very useful, right? Rather than, or in addition to LMS, there may be some ICT applications used in education. I explained everything at the time when we studied Unit 1 in grade 10, right? Remember, there is one called CAL, C-A-L, Computer Assisted Learning, right? Computer Assisted Learning. So learning with the help of computer. That is the meaning of CAL. We discussed about WBT, web-based training. Remember that phrase, WBT, web-based training. It is a web-based training method. I clearly explain everything. So try referring your notes. Even CBT there, computer-based training, right? Using computer for training purposes, so CBT, right? So there may be some application. I have given 3 important applications. Okay, next one. And LMS can be used here in this question. Things are related to grade 10 first unit, not related to grade 11 last unit, because both the grade 10 first unit and grade 11 last unit related to ICT and society, right? So don't think that questions should come from last unit of grade 11. It can come from grade 10 first unit, right? An LMS can be used to conduct the activities given in the following table more efficiently and conveniently. Therefore, the 3 categories, students, teachers, and school administration are benefited. So LMS provides benefits not only for the teachers or not only for the students, even the administration can get benefits. So LMS provides services or provides benefits for all these three people: teachers, students, administration, right? So look here. Here the activities are listed, activities given by LMS, right? But it's a mixture. It may have teachers related stuff, it may have students related activities, and also administration related things. Look at the question. Identify which category is mostly benefited by using LMS for each of the above activities, and write the respective category against the activity number. So the question is, you have to select the activity to the related category. So you have to suggest, if it is student, you need to pick the right activities for students. You need to pick the right activities for administration as well as teachers, right? So you have been asked to write the activity, you have been asked to write the name and the activity number. For example, let me take this. Look at the question again. Write the respective category against the activity number, right? So look here. If it is 1, this is activity number, first one, 1 activity number, and now I have to write the category. So look here, registration of students, right? Registration of students. So assume, so you may think that these activities are taken place in a school. That may be very simple because LMS can be used in schools and some other higher level education institutions like universities, some other colleges, right? But it is possible. So here, think that these are taking place in a school. So registration of students. So you know, for registering the students, the responsible people are the administrative people, right? So they will get the benefit because in LMS, there is a facility for registering the students. So generally the registration should be done manually. So administration faces problem. So now it may be easy, right? So here, this one should be administration. Have you understood? This is admin. Look at the second one, 2. Marking students' attendance register. So for marking the students' attendance, you know, teachers are the responsible people. So generally the attendance should be marked manually. So they have to mark in the attendance register, but now it is available in LMS. So that is for teachers, right? Number 3, issuing of certificates. So that is the role or that is the duty of the administration, right? So it must be administration. The question is very simple, right? Number 4, conducting preliminary test to access student skills, right? So conducting test and everything are related to teachers. Even sometimes you can argue that they are related to administration, but better these are the things related to teachers because they are the people who conduct examinations. Number 5, conducting school-based assessments, right? That is also related to teachers, right? So it is teachers. Assessment, your assessment, they are conducted teachers. So the teachers can put the assessment title on the LMS. So students can download and they can answer and upload it again. So that is possible. 5. Number 6, using multimedia enriched lessons for self-study. Multimedia lessons like video clips, right, animation, some other ebooks for self-study, definitely it is for students. These are for students because these are about studies, right, students. Using multimedia enriched lessons to classroom teaching, right? So this is definitely for teachers. Number 7, these are for teachers, right, teachers. Last, ability to access preferred lesson at preferred time. You may access any lessons at any time, right? So definitely it is for you, right? So you need some lessons. So while you're at home, while you're traveling, while you're in friend home, you can access your school website because LMS should be on a web-based method. So it is a website. So you can simply log in and use it, right? So that is number 8. This is for student. Okay. So these are related to LMS, right? So it's too easy. So since they are very easy, I skip it and go to the other question. Right, look here. The software that are meant to adversely affect computer systems is known as malicious software. Malware or malicious software, same, right? The softwares which affect the computer should be malware. Computer virus is one type of malware. Yes, question number 1A. Right, 2 other types of malware. We have plenty, right? Worms are there, Trojan horse, right? Adware, hijacker, many things. Write down 2 kinds of damages caused by a computer virus. Virus can do many things. So you can simply say that virus can delete some files. Some unknown files can be newly created. Some softwares can be damaged or some softwares can be corrupted. Sometimes you are unable to install some new softwares. So there may be a list. Try referring the notes, right? I have given some. Last, write down 2 methods to protect a standalone computer from virus infection, right? Write down 2 methods to protect a standalone computer from virus infection. What does standalone computer mean? A computer which is isolated from others' computers. It means a computer which is not connected with any other computers at any time, right? That is stand alone, right? It is standing alone because it is not connected to the others. So in that case, if it is standalone computer, you have to, give some methods to protect that. One is, internet is not there, right? So don't worry about internet because if it is standalone computer, internet is not there, right? So now you have to think in a different way. So you have a standalone computer. It may have less possibility for virus attack or malware attack, but still there is a possibility. So how can we protect that? First one, we may install antivirus software and scan removable storage devices before use them, right? Use antivirus software and scan the removable storage devices before use them. That is one important method. That may be the best method, right? Second method, don't think about internet, right? Internet or network is not the case. So second one, you can say that you have to deactivate the macro facility in the software. We discussed, right? Macro, deactivate the macro. That is important because virus can use the macro for passing from one software to another. So you have to disable the macro. These are 2 important things. Even you can write some other things, right? Try avoiding the use of removable storage devices, some other things, okay, right? But don't take or don't drag anything related to internet, right? You can't say that we cannot download unnecessary things, or we cannot visit to untrusted websites. We have to be careful with email attachment. Those things cannot be there because your computer is standalone, right? Which means it is not connected to the others. Okay, right? It's 5:18, right? Okay, let me take this question, and with this we can conclude because we wasted some time because of the power cut. So let me take one last question, right? And then we can wind up. Okay, 2013. The following diagram shows the correct posture that can be adopted to avoid RSI when using computers. Some of the aspects that need to be taken into consideration are noted, and others have been labeled as P2. Have you understood? So the things which have to be focused to avoid RSI are labeled, but some of them are some of the labels have been given names, but some of them are not, right? Look here, head erect, that is there, because your head should be straight, right? You cannot bend your head must be straight, so it is erect. Free shoulders, right? Your shoulder must be relaxed. So that is also one point to be considered. Yes, that has been written. Look, here, hands held straight forward, which means your elbow should be straight or should be parallel. That is also written. Even look at them. I didn't mention this one because this is sometimes not important, but sometimes it is very useful when we typing some printed things. So when we type a letter or maybe something, location of additional notes viewed conveniently. So assume you are typing a handwritten paragraph or handwritten book or something. So now you have the paragraph which was written by someone, handwritten thing. So now what you are doing is you just see the paragraph from that handwritten magazine, and now you are typing. So every time you have to look that particular handwritten book, and then you have to type. So it is something very hard because every time you have to, I mean, move your head here and there. So what is the best option? Just put that particular note, handwritten note, in a small stand very close to your monitor. Have you understood? Keep that very closer to monitor, but that note should face towards you, right? You maybe, so when someone or when people sing some songs, they keep a stand in front of us, right in front of us, and they see the things, they see the lyrics, and they sing, because that is very convenient rather than keeping the particular song book in the hand. So they keep that in a stand, and whenever they want lyrics or lines, they can easily see and sing it. Similar incident, similar idea. So rather than keeping that particular book on the table, just keep that in a small stand very closer to monitor. So now your task is very simple. By looking at that particular, particular notes, you can simply type it. That is there, right? It is not clear actually, but it is somewhere here, right? Somewhere here, that particular notes is located in a stand. Okay, right. So they have been labeled. We have to identify the things which are not labeled. So starting from P, right here P. So now you can simply say that P is maybe the distance between the eyes and the monitor. Even you can say the eye level, because it is not clear. We are unable to confirm whether it is that P is denoted. P denotes that it is a space, or whether the eye level, anything is okay. So you can say that P is for showing the gap between the eyes and the monitor, or even monitor should be little above to the eye level or something. That is P. Q. So Q is this one, right? So you must say that it is backrest, or you can say, even you can say that user should lean on the backrest, right? That is important. Q. R. So look here, R towards this one. Here also the picture is not clear. We cannot exactly point, but it looks that the chair is in a proper height, because you know that there may be height adjustable facility there. So we can say that it is in the right height, appropriate height. Even if you write that height adjusting facility or something, you will be awarded marks, right? That is R. Then S. It's very simple. So it is keeping the feet on a footstool or footrest, right? Keeping the feet on a footrest or footstool, right? This is the footrest or footstool. Okay, yes. Then finally T. So it is related to monitor. So here also that picture is not clear, because sometimes by looking at the picture, you cannot exactly say their idea, right? Because the person who takes this question may have different ideas. So because here, even for P, I told you that is something difficult because the P shows or P denotes this line. So it means the distance. Sometimes people think that it is distance. So sometimes people think because that is, it shows the eye level. So you may think that it is for eye level. So any answers are okay for P. Even for T, it would be better to say that the monitor is in the right distance, right? Because we are unable to show any other things because T shows only monitor, right? Have you understood? The label T is given for monitor, right? So we may suggest that the monitor is in the appropriate distance, right? Around 45 to 70 centimeter. That is the appropriate distance, right? So monitor is located or monitor is kept in the right location. This is T. I repeat it again. P, distance between eye and monitor is one thing, or even you can say the level, right? Eye level. Q, back breast, right? The user leans on the backrest. R, the chair is an appropriate height. Even you can say that chair has height adjustable facility. S, the feet of the user on the footrest or footstool. T, the monitor is in the right distance, right? So these are the things discussed here. All right, so these are the questions which could have been, discussed today because we have some time issues today. So, okay, we can discuss the remaining question. I thought that it is possible to complete all the questions today, but because of the power failure, we were unable to complete them. So it doesn't matter. We can take one more time to complete. I try to conduct another class very soon to complete because we have some other units to be started. So try checking for any updates and connect, right? So it's enough. So we will meet in another class. Okay. So thank you.